Hey everybody, apparently Capcom has announced that they are releasing the netcode bug fix for Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Specifically, this is going to address the sound bug that I was so against that made me return the game. So this resolves a really big issue. Will this make me go back and pick the game up again and give it another shot? No, it will not. While I'm tempted by the art style, the new characters in the Street Fighter universe, bringing Hugo back, putting Poison in, that's kind of cool. The crossover with the Tekken characters, it's kind of neat. I have to remind myself that fundamentally, I don't like this kind of game. I don't like it. It's the playstyle. This game, Capcom, took the worst element of the Tekken games and put it in. Juggles. Street Fighter has always been, to me, about position, screen control, special moves, knowing how to handle not only the character you're playing against, but how to kind of psych out the other player you're playing against. Tekken has always been, or at least it's always seemed to me, about high-low switches, constant pressure, launchers, and juggles. It's just, it's a combo thing. Just hit, bounce, bump, 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 move through. Compare the Capcom versus SNK series versus the Marvel versus Capcom series. When you look at the Capcom versus SNK stuff, the controls may have been different, but the play styles were very similar. It's because the game's, the origins of that series, Street Fighter led to Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and then Art of Fighting, they took those characters and that inspired Dan by the time he got back into Street Fighter and stuff like that. You zoned, you countered, you crossed up, you did your specials. They pulled in most of the standards of the Street Fighter playstyle and added some of the SNK stuff to it. Some of the art style, the grooves, what have you. The styles mesh so well because, like I said, the source material fed off each other so much that they just kind of, it was like a seamless blend. It was really good. Like the SNK team style fit well with how they did it in the Versus games. It was pretty cool. But then you look at Marvel versus Capcom, I think because they had the ability to start from more of a clean slate. There wasn't a Marvel style. They were able to branch out. X-Men Children of the Atom was essentially a Street Fighter game with X-Men characters. There were definitely some variations, the fact that you had, Sentinel and being so big and all this sort of stuff. There were definitely changes, but it wasn't too far off. A little bit less balanced, I guess. But the game was kind of just like a Street Fighter game. But it was just it was a logical extension of Street Fighter. Then you move into Marvel superheroes, and everything gets bigger. It gets flashier. It becomes just more about the show and less about the play. Things just got farther out there, and they brought in an element to the game where things would pop onto the screen which would allow you to do more damage, or be faster, or have better defense. What are those called? Yeah, gems. This gem system that they had. They used it again once you get to Pocket Fighter, but, it doesn't seem like the sort of thing that they'd use again in a more serious fighting game. It doesn't seem to work, but once you get through X-Men vs. Street Fighter, then Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 and 3, things just kept getting a bit more arcade, honestly. They got arcadey. And typically, I will side with an arcade-style game over a sim. NFL Blitz over Madden, NBA Jam over NBA Live or the 2K series, Ridge Racer over Gran Turismo, Burnout over Forza. I like arcade style stuff. But when it comes to fighting games, I want things to be, I just want them to work better. You know, I want things to be a bit more thought out. I'm not a competitive player by any stretch of the imagination, but I like to know that when I get into a fight, it's not going to be a matter of just, you know, the enemy gets one hit, and then it's one hit, combo, launcher, switch, juggle, combo, switch, juggle, air combo, switch, super combo, switch, ultra combo, switch, team combo, KO. That is not a fun game to me. That's dumb. That's not fun at all. And I don't want to play like that against somebody else. That's not the way that it's just, yeah, that sort of one move decides the match. It's not for me. Same thing with the gems. Normally, I am all about customization. The more options I have to make things look the way I want, or the game to act the way I want, the better. I used to love my Game Genie on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. Not, you know, for cheating, you know, I used it for that as well, but for the ways that you could actually affect the core gameplay, that you could really kind of change the way that the world is supposed to work, to do something you wanted it to do. That was really cool. You know, because it's not really mess too many things up in Mario Brothers if I can jump a little bit higher. It changes things. It really, the staged layout gets affected by that. But when you get into a fighting game, balance, balance, balance. If it's just, you see the same character over and over and over again because they're so overpowered or they have some stupid infinite combo, that's not good. It just doesn't work at all. I want a game to be about the skill of the player, and the gems are kind of weird. You know, if you give me the option to change the physical appearance of my character a bit more, awesome. I'd be all for that. You know, I was kind of looking forward to the character customization that you had in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but it was like you had 3 color options for each different thing. It just really wasn't enough. I'm glad they're fixing so much that was wrong with the game. This sound bug was huge, obviously. If it was enough to make me take it back. I hope they're probably going to address some of the infinite combos as well, get those taken out. But realistically, this simply is not a game that I want. It's not the kind of game I want to play. If this came out when I was a kid, and it was like me and my brother, and we're holding little impromptu tournaments for all the kids in the neighborhood to come over and play, and you're just wailing on each other and you're having fun, super. I'd probably be all about this game. But now, when online play is my dominant area when it comes to fighting games, it's a bit more competitive just by the nature of it. People tend to be a bit more prickish, and this game just doesn't cut it. I'm looking for a bit more substance than what this game provides. So, until they get around to maybe making a new Capcom versus SNK, or they do the next DarkStalkers game that was rumored before they announced Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I'll probably just wait for Street Fighter V. If I could get Mugen to operate correctly on my old Xbox, maybe that'll be the crossover I'd like to play. You know, having Peter Griffin and Popeye team up against Sailor Moon and Garfield, that's a good crossover game. It's probably still more balanced than Street Fighter Cross Tekken. If you guys get the patch, let me know how it works out for you, if it really does resolve some of those issues. Maybe you can sell me on this game. Maybe you can convince me it's worth it again. Put your comments down below. Do a response video, whatever you got to do. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Later.